The Prophet ﷺ said, as for the kafir or the fajir, the opposite, when he is about to leave this world and enter the next world, the Malakul Maut comes and he is surrounded by angels of a gloomy disposition, of a scary disposition, and they surround him as far as the eye can see. Once again we say, the worse the person, the more frightening the delegation. Again, there's nothing explicit, but it is the common sense that you derive from the Quran and Sunnah, the general text of the Quran and Sunnah, that people have different levels. So the death of Fir'aun is not going to be like the death of an average person who rejected Islam. There's definitely going to be differences between that. So the person who's at the bottom scale, as far as the eye can see, there will be deadly angels. Angels that terrify. Angels whose presence will, if you weren't dead, you would die, look at them. That type of thing. And as far as the eye can see. And the Malakul Maut will say, أخرجي أيتها النفس الخبيثة, you filthy soul. So the angel will give an adjective that's not a positive adjective. You dirty, you are not a pure soul, not a mutma'inna, not a tayyiba, khabitha. You are filth, you are not pure. Or khabith soul, get out of your body and meet Allah's ghadab and meet Allah's anger. And the Prophet ﷺ said, and listen to this, wallahi, this is frightening, may Allah protect us. It's something we need to know the story, because brothers and sisters, every one of us, this is our journey, either A or B. May Allah make us of the first category, but this is our journey. Every one of us, there is no getting out. People can deny anything, their arrogance, they can deny religion, they cannot deny death. They cannot deny death. That's something that will happen to all of us. So the Prophet ﷺ said, so the soul will exit, listen to the analogy, like an iron comb is pulled through wet wool. What an analogy. Wet wool. And you take an iron comb and you pull the two apart. The soul doesn't want to leave. The soul is not happy to leave. So the soul will be snatched away in the most vicious manner imaginable. And there will be angels that have from the kafan of Jahannam, a'udhu billah, the coals of Jahannam, the stench of Jahannam. And that's what they're going to surround it by. And they will wrap the body. So already the adhab begins. And next lesson we'll talk about Na'im al-Qabr and Adhab al-Qabr. This is where it begins. At the very moment of death begins the na'im and the adhab. At the second, your malakul maut will right then and there, you know which direction overall you are heading. And they will surround him with these kafans, and they will pass by every group of angels, and the angels will say, who is this filthy or dirty soul? Because they see who's around, they see what is surrounded by. And what adjectives will they use? The adjectives that the people used in this dunya against him. Once again, subhanallah, be careful, brothers and sisters. Be careful of dhulm. Be careful of the dua of the madhloom. Be careful of hurting an innocent soul, and they use an adjective against you that will be used in the next life, a'udhu billah, in a much more worse scenario. Never, ever, ever, whatever personal sins you do, inshallah, Allah is Ghafoor and Rahim. But when you hurt other people, you take the haqq of other people, you trample on the rights of other people, you take the money of other people, you dishonor the honor of a brother or sister, then, a'udhu billah, you will have to get the permission of that person. Otherwise, between you and Allah, and this is, by the way, a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that the mu'min is at ease as long as his sins are between him and Allah, meaning that one who does tawbah repents to Allah. But as when he get to the other people, then that is a different category. So what are the adjectives used? These aren't for the private sins. These are for the sins other people called him, right? Oh, you zalim, oh, you cheat, oh, you liar, oh, you this and that, double-faced hypocrite. Those adjectives, they will not be forgotten. Allah has written, the angels have written, and now it will be used against the person. A'udhu billah. When they are terrified, their terror will only increase. Every time they are going up, those adjectives will be used to describe, and the worst adjectives that were used, and the doors of the heavens will be shut and not opened up. So they will not be honored by going to the seventh heaven. And then the voice will come, write his name in Sijjeen. And Sijjeen is the registrar of Jahannam. Sijjeen is where the names of Jahannam are written. And then the same phrase, take his body back to this earth, because I promised them, from it I created, and to it they shall return, and from it I shall bring them back a third time. And then the Prophet ﷺ recited the verse that وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَكَأَنَّمَا خَرَّ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ فَتَخْطَفُهُ الطَّيْرُ أَوْ تَهْوِي بِهِ الرِّيحُ فِي مَكَانٍ سَحِيقٍ. This is in the Quran, that whoever commits shirk with Allah, this shows us that this category primarily applies to shirk. And of course the one who is a sinner, there's a possibility that he will get a little bit of both, meaning this is the worst case scenario, the one who rejected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and committed shirk. And the verse translates as, whoever commits shirk with Allah, it is as if he is falling from the heavens, and it is as if the birds are plucking at his flesh, or the wind is taking him hither and thither. And the point is that this ayah indicates the falling of the soul and a type of punishment of the soul. So the Prophet ﷺ recited it and applied it in the akhirah is going to be having. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, his soul will be thrown back into his jasad. This is not used in the first one. Thrown back indicates a level of harshness. And then the angels will come and say, Mar Rabbuk. He will say, ha la adri. Meaning, ha is how we say, like I don't know, like the words that we just say like this. Then they will say, Ma dinuk, ha la adri. Who is this man sent amongst you? The same thing, I do not know. Allah will say, he has lied. Now why has he lied? Because he did know in this dunya, and he refused to accept. So when they say, who is your Lord? He says, I don't know. In his mind he knew, but his body did not worship Allah. So his body is answering, I don't know, but his mind knew Allah is my Lord. When they say, who is this man? This is for the one who knew the Prophet ﷺ and rejected him. As for the one who's ignorant, we'll talk about him as well later on. One who never heard of Islam, we'll talk about them later on. But the one who knew Islam, Abu Lahab for example, he will say, ha la adri. Allah will say, he's lying. He knew and he didn't follow. So the lying is to the one who rejects Islam consciously. And then the angels are told, put around him the shroud of Jahannam, and bring from him the smoke of Jahannam, and allow him to look at his place in Jahannam. So the portal will open up, and the portal will show him his place in Jahannam. Then the qabr will become dark and dank and surround him until his rib cages break and enter into each other. This is what the Prophet ﷺ is saying, that his adla', his rib cages break into one another. Now, of course, from outside, the two qabrs are exactly the same. This is in Alam al-Barzakh. From outside, it's still 6 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot, same thing. But this is what's happening inside. You can have two people next to each other, and the one of them, the qabr is bright, the qabr is large and vast, the qabr is as far as the eye can see, and the other one, the exact opposite. And then, as he is there being punished, an entity comes to him who is terrifying to behold, with the worst stench, and bringing just his presence is odious. And he says, woe to you, who are you? And of course the response is, I am your deeds coming back to you. I am your deeds coming back to you. You had filthy deeds, now this is what is going to come back to you. And the man will make dua to Allah, Rabb, do not allow judgment day to occur. Ya Rabb, delay the judgment day. Because this is just the beginning. It is painful enough, but he knows what will happen is even worse than this. This is the entirety of the hadith. And there are many other facets from this and other hadith that we'll derive, but I want to stop here for our lecture for today.
بشر المنافقين بأن لهم عذابا أليما بشر المنافقين بأن لهم عذابا أليما الذين يتخذون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين أيبتغون عندهم العزة فإن العزة لله جميعا. وقد نزل عليكم في الكتاب أن إذا سمعتم آيات الله يكفر بها ويستهزأ بها فلا تقعدوا معهم حتى يخوضوا في حديث غيره إنكم إذا مثلهم إن الله جامع المنافقين والكافرين في جهنم جميعا. الذين يتربصون بكم فإن كان لكم فتح من الله قالوا ألم نكن معكم وإن كان للكافرين نصيب قالوا ألم نستحوذ عليكم ونمنعكم من المؤمنين فالله يحكم بينكم يوم القيامة ولن يجعل الله للكافرين على المؤمنين سبيلا. إن المنافقين يخادعون الله وهو خادعهم وإذا قاموا إلى الصلاة قاموا كسالى وإذا قاموا إلى الصلاة قاموا كسالى يراءون الناس ولا يذكرون الله إلا قليلا مذبذبين بين ذلك لا إله هؤلاء ولا إله هؤلاء ومن يضلل الله فلن تجد له سبيلا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين أتريدون أن تجعلوا لله عليكم سلطانا مبينا. إن المنافقين في الدرك الأسفل من النار ولن تجد لهم نصيرا إلا الذين تابوا وأصلحوا واعتصموا بالله وأخلصوا دينهم لله فأولئك مع المؤمنين وسوف يؤتي الله المؤمنين أجرا عظيما. ما يفعل الله بعذابكم إن شكرتم وآمنتم وكان الله شاكرا عليما.